Hello everybody, it's another stinking hot day in Sydney today, and I'm back to show you finally how to do a beginner's how-to guide in how to do eyeshadow. So this tutorial has been my most requested tutorial. I'm getting a lot of, yeah Xena, the colours are really nice, but you kind of lost me at hello. They all seem to be a little bit too hard, which I completely understand. So yeah, the purpose of this tutorial is just to show you really simple step-by-step guide in how to at least just get your eyeshadow right, and then we can sort of, you know, work on it from there. And so the look that I'm doing is, I've only used three colours. I've used black, I've used grey, and I've used white for this look. However, as it does look pretty dark, the reason why I have used these three colours is just it's a lot easier to show on camera if I show, you know, dark bold colours for the purposes of showing you how to do it. If you're doing this at home, feel free to use any colours that you want to use. Like, you know, if you want to sort of play it safe, then I would recommend, actually let me just show you. So say you've got the Urban Decay Naked palette, you know, you could use like say a black, a brown, and then say, or even a beige. So even those three colours would be perfect for doing the same sort of eye look. Or, I mean, you can use any type of colours. So for example, I've got this right here, and so that's three different tones of blue, and then I've got one here that's got three different tones of green, like so. But if you are starting out, I definitely recommend sticking to the same colour and just using different tones of that colour. Just at first, just until you have the look right. And then once you're comfortable with it, then you can, like, you know, the world is your oyster. You can use any damn colour you want and, you know, start mixing colours and whatever you wanted. As mentioned, for the purposes of this tutorial, I have just stuck with the black, grey and the white. And yeah, this is the look that I'm doing. And let's get this show on the road, shall we? I'll start by saying, when it comes to eyeshadow, it essentially is just colouring in. That's really all it is. So I can't stress the importance of having good brushes when you're doing eyeshadow. That, to me, that is the secret of knowing how to do eyeshadow, is having the right brushes, so that, you know, each brush does, you know, plays a completely different role. So if you've got the right brushes, you basically can do eyeshadow pretty much. Like, obviously there's still techniques involved, but that will take you a long way in getting started. The other thing I'll say is, before you start your eyeshadow, it is really important to prime the eyes. What that means is you're basically just putting a base onto your eyelid. So all of us, you know, the skin on our eyelids is quite thin, and as a result it does tend to get a bit oily. So I guess if you're frying chips, for example, or, you know, schnitzels or something, and you put them straight onto the plate, like, the plate's going to get greasy as hell. But if you put, like, you know, a napkin or a serviette on the plate and then put the chips and the schnitzels on there, you'll notice that all the oil goes into the serviette and the plate stays clean. So I guess it's the same sort of thing. Like, the whole purpose of the primer is to act as a base so that your eyeshadow doesn't crease and go all greasy and gross, because that's, you know, what you really want to avoid at all costs. And it's so simple. There's two types of eye primers. Well, actually there's millions of eye primers around on the market. So there's the ones that you do buy from the shops. I use Urban Decay Primer Potion, but there's so many good ones out there. But if you don't have an eye primer, the next best thing is to use, and essentially it's pretty much the same thing, is to use a concealer and to use powder. So you literally just put, you know, a little bit of concealer onto your eyelid, rub it in, put a little bit of powder on top, and Bob's your uncle. You've basically primed your eyes. But yeah, either or work really well. Alright, let's get started. For today, I'm actually going to be working with three main brushes. So your first one is your eyeshadow brush. So this is for applying eyeshadow to the eyelid. And it comes in all kind of different variations of the same shape, but yeah, they all pretty much do the same thing. Then I'm going to be working with this fluffy brush. And as you can see, it's a lot fluffier than the other one, and the bristles are a lot sort of further apart and longer. That's going to be for your blending. And then I'm going to be working with the pencil brush. So these are the three main brushes that you really need in your kit, I guess, when you're doing any sort of eyeshadow. So these are the ones I'll be working with today. Okay, let's get the show on the road. So as I mentioned in my intro, you need to start by priming your eyes. So I'm going to use Urban Decay Primer Potion, which looks like that, but you can use whatever you have. And if you don't have a primer, as mentioned, you can use the concealer and foundation trick. So when you're putting it on, or if you're using an eye primer, you literally need a pin size amount, like that much per eye. So tiny, just a tiny amount, and you're just going to put that all over the eyelid, like that. Make sure that it's all nicely blended in. And if you're putting colour underneath, then you need to put it in underneath your eye as well. Like so. And the next thing you're going to do is you're going to get your eyeshadow brush. So I'm just going to start with white, just for the purposes of this video. Okay, so with your eyeshadow brush, you're going to put quite a bit of onto the brush, and you're going to tap it off like that, just like that, using your finger. Never blow on your brush, just because when you blow on your brush, you're putting, like, I guess, germs from your mouth onto the brush, and then you're going to stick it straight in your eye. So yeah, it's never a good idea to blow on the brush. Always just tap it off. And all you're going to do is you're going to place it straight onto the eyelid, just onto the entire eyelid like that. Now, what you're going to try and do later on, or the whole purpose of putting eyeshadow on, is you want your eyeshadow to kind of go like that, which means, okay, I'm going to use a stick now, so hopefully I won't poke myself in the eye. Your eyeshadow, see how your eye goes like this? You've got to pretend that it keeps going up that way, and your eyeshadow technically shouldn't be underneath this line. It should always be above in this area here, like that. But if you do get it below the line, don't worry, because I'm going to show you a tip on how to fix it up afterwards. So if you go below that line, don't stress. So just putting that white on all over the lid, like this. And feel free to go back and pack it on a second time. With eyeshadows, it's always a good idea just to use a little bit at first, and then you can always build colour. Whereas if you put like heaps and heaps on at first, like especially if you're using dark colours, like you might end up like making it a big giant mess, and that's never attractive. So always just go bit by bit, because you can always add to it. Okay. So we've put it on like so. Now, as you can see, when I look down like this here, that's called the crease. That's the crease of the eye. So when you're doing eyeshadows, you deal with the crease a lot. So whenever I talk about the crease, you'll know now what it means. So it's just this line here. So this eyeshadow is just going just right up to the crease and a little bit over the crease here. See, so you've gone right up to that line here, and you've gone just a little bit over like that. Next thing you're going to do is you're going to take that same brush, or if you've got a different brush that looks the same, preferably use that one. It's always better not to sort of mix your colours on your brushes, like keep it separate if you can. And we're going to take this grey. Great, and I'll just put my fingernail into it. It's always a good look. And with that brush, again, I'm just going to take just a little bit. I'm going to tap it off with my finger. And now I'm going to be doing half of my eye. So I'm going to be doing this half of my eye here. So just like that is where I'm going to start. And I'm just going to go over that whole area, just like that. Again, it doesn't have to be too neat. Don't worry if it's messy, because you're going to blend it all out in a second anyway. And this one can go just above that crease. So as you can see, there's my crease right there, and you're going just above it. But just on this half of the eye. Like so. Okay. So as you can see, that's now looks like that, and you can hang on, let me get my sticky thing. You've got a harsh line right there, and you've got a harsh line right there, and you kind of want to get rid of that because harsh lines are so sort of 1980s, and we kind of don't do them anymore these days. So you want to blend those out where possible, and this is where your fluffy brush comes in, or your blending brush. And all you do is you're going to go straight over that line like that, just to fuzz it out and blend it out. Now, you always want to blend towards the inner eye. You don't want to blend out that way. So you're basically going in windscreen wiper motions, and you're just going to blend that whole area out like this. Just go up and down, and you're going to blend it up above the crease. So see, I'm well above the crease now. Just like so. And like, feel free to you know, spend time on it. Like, don't do it as a rush job, because you want to blend it out properly. So just take your time with it. And you're just blending it up to about there. Or if you want to, you can just blend it up to there. It's really whatever you want, and it depends what look you're going for. But for the purposes of this, we're just going to blend it up to about here. Nice circular motions. Okay, so that takes care of the outer perimeter of the harsh line. Now you've got to deal with this harsh line right there. So what you're trying to do is you're trying to do it so that the grey gently kind of transitions into the white. So what you do is you take your brush that had the white on it, and you're literally going to go straight over the line like this. And you're just going to blend that out. And already, as you can see, that harsh line has disappeared, and you've now got a nice transition into your white. And what you can always do, if you've got rid of too much of the grey, just pick up the brush that you had the grey on it, and just go back over the top of it, just to replace any of the eyeshadow that's fallen off, like so. And then take the white eyeshadow brush again and just go over that line again. And what you can do, if you're worried again that you know, too much eyeshadow has fallen off during the blending process, just dip it back into the white, tap it off again, and just go over the white bit. Remember, it's all about building that colour, blending and colouring in, basically. So I'm just taking the fluffy brush again, and now I'm just going back over that harsh line, and I'm just blending it out. This is just to sort of finish it all off and make sure that it's all nice and even all the way throughout. See? Okay, so what you've now created is a really nice transition colour from here into your brow bone, and now you can sort of go in with your black, and which is right here, and you're going to deepen up. This is what's called the outer crease area. Some people call it an outer crease, some people call it an outer V. This is this area right here. And I'll show you why it's called an outer V in just a second. Okay, this is where your pencil brush comes in. It's probably one of my favourite brushes. It's really, really good for doing inner corner work and just generally anything that involves sort of fiddly eyeshadow work. It's brilliant. Okay, you're now going to take the black and couple of seconds ago I mentioned the outer V. So this is what the outer V is. I'm going to get the special effects thing happening and try and draw it on screen for you, but just in case that I'm not able to do that for whatever reason. This is your outer V here. So imagine this is a V on its side like that. And this is what you're going to add colour to. This is where you're going to put your black. Again, just use a really, really small amount onto the brush, just because you are dealing with a dark colour. So just put a little bit on, and don't forget to tap it off, tap off the excess, because again, you don't want to give yourself like, you know, you don't want to look like you've punched yourself in the face, or, you know, the whole panda eye look, not attractive. Okay, and you're just going to take that, and you're just going to draw literally a V, or some people like to say it's a C as well. See? In this case it's more of a C than a V. I'm just going to put a little bit more black, tap it off again, and just deepen that. And I'm just going to go to where that grey finished, so just halfway to the middle of the eye, or to the middle of the crease. And you're going along just into the crease with the black, just down here, and this into the crease, and you're just finishing it like that. Now you need to get your blending brush again, and you're going to blend that out. You can use the same blending brush. And again, you're just going to do nice circular motions, windscreen wiper motions up the top here, and you're going to blend it right out. You don't need to press hard with your brush. You literally just hold it down the bottom like that, and you're just colouring in like that. So nice and gentle, just so you're lightly putting the brush over the eye area and blending out the colours. You want to blend it right out. You don't want any harsh lines. Now you're going to take that same fluffy brush, and this time you're going to dip it into the grey, so the lighter colour. Don't forget to tap off the excess, and you're just going to go over it again. And as you can see, you're getting a nice smoky effect on the eye now. You can also see that we've gone down in a little bit under here. This is called fallout. Don't worry about it, because we'll fix that up in a minute, so it's all good. Now you're just going to keep blending backwards and forwards until that line is all blended out, like so. Now don't freak out if you don't get this right the first time. It is like a practice makes perfect type thing, and even I still get it wrong a lot of the time, so don't freak out, just keep practicing, and if all else fails, just keep blending. Just keep blending it out. Like so. Now I'm just going to go back with the grey again. I haven't actually put any extra colour onto the brush. I'm just using what was there, and I'm just replacing any of that colour that sort of, you know, was lost during the blending process. And then I'm going to take the brush with the white on it again, and I'm going to do the same thing, but this time I am going to add just a little bit more white to it. I'm just going to blend it into those darker colours. A lot of the process is going backwards and forwards just to, you know, to make sure that all those colours are blended in properly. So, you know, don't freak out. It'll take as long as it takes, unfortunately. But that's what happens when you build colour. You just have to keep going backwards and forwards and building that colour up. And just make sure, obviously, that your two eyes are even as well when you're doing it. Okay. I'm pretty satisfied with that now. Okay, when you've got it to a spot where you're happy with how it looks, next thing you're going to do is you're going to need to put your highlight onto your brow bone. So that's going to go right here. And as you can see, we've still got a bit of a harsh line right here. Like it's not as smoked out as I'd like it. So we're just going to use that same white from before and and a brush. I use this brush right here. So this is a special brow bone brush, but just use a brush, pretty much anything that's sort of, anything from a fluffy brush or anything that kind of has, you know, where the bristles are kind of a bit longer. But I guess just use whatever you have. And what you're going to do is you're just going to apply that up here. And you're just going to go backwards and forwards until that harsh line is blended out completely. There you go. As you can see, that black line is a lot more smoked out now. It's not as defined as it was before. And remember, if you're using other colours, you know, much lighter colours, that line, that contrast between the white and the black won't be as harsh either. It'll look a little bit more smoked out. Okay, now for the cleanup part. Now, as you can see, I always manage to get fallout down here. And as I was talking before about making sure that your eyeshadow stays above this line here, this is where this bit comes in, which is fabulous. So you're going to take a baby wipe. You can use a cosmetic wipe as well, but I do find that the cosmetic wipes tend to be a bit more greasy than I prefer, so I do tend to go with the baby wipes because they're not greasy at all, but they're still gentle enough to remove the eyeshadow. All you're going to do is put it underneath, and you're just going to go like this. Just going to follow that line so that you delete everything that's under it and clear it all out. Some people use the sticky tape method for this to prevent the fallout and to get the nice clean line, but for me personally, this is what I find works the best. Just go underneath the eye as well, just to clean it all up. And just take that fluffy brush from before and take your clean pad and just wipe the brush on there just to get rid of any colour that's on the brush. And you're just going to go back over that harsh line again and just blend it out one last time. Ta-da! I'm also going to go back and I'm just going to fix up the grey a little bit just to make it stand out just a little bit more and blend into that white a little better. Then I'm going to take the white there you go, and you're all done. Next step is eyeliner. So I like to use a gel eyeliner, but there's obviously all different types of eyeliners available. But yeah, I like to use a gel liner. I just find personally that works best for me. The one that I use is Black Track Fluid Line by MAC. I've always used this. I've tried a lot of others, but I always keep coming back to this one. And the type of brush that you use is completely up to you. As a beginner, I found that the easiest brush to use was kind of one like this, which has really short bristles, so you know they don't bend too much, so you can you know draw it onto your eye a lot easier. And all you're going to do is just going to put a little bit onto your brush, put it on both sides, and just wipe it off a little bit. What I do is I always start again. Let me just get my sticky thing. Okay, see how your eye follows like that? That's where you want to draw your eyeliner. So just underneath your waterline. So this is your waterline right here. So you want your eyeliner to go like that. So I find it's easier to always do my wing first. Like so. And then I start from the other end of the eye and work my way back. Now, one of the secrets of doing your eyeliner is you're never going to be able to get it all like in one go, so don't even try it. Like just do little bit by little bit like that, and you'll find that it's a lot easier. Shit, I'm off camera, sorry. Just go back in. I'm just going to move my mirror forward so I can see a little bit better. And then all you're going to do is you're going to draw a line from here and meet it up to there, and then colour in this little triangle that's here. Don't forget to get the eyeliner right onto your lash line so you don't have any sort of skin hanging out the bottom, because that ain't a good look. I've been doing eyeliner for about 50 billion years and I still get it wrong all the time, so if you're a beginner doing this, don't freak out. It really does take a lot of practice to get it right, but you'll get there. Just do little bit by little bit, and it's just so much easier. Now I'm just going to take that makeup wipe again. And I'm just going to clean up underneath. Make sure that wing is completely straight. There you go. Okay, next I'm going to take some mascara. Just apply the mascara like so. And I always find it's always easier and it looks a lot better if you apply 2 coats. So you do your one side and then you do your other side, and then you come back and you do it again, because you've applied the one coat, so you've lengthened your lashes, and then when you come back and you apply the second coat, you're going to lengthen them even more, and that's ultimately what the mascara is for. It's not just to thicken your lashes, but it's to lengthen them. Just go back a second time. Don't forget to start right from the bottom and all the way up, and see, as you can see, lashes are a lot longer second time round. Okay, technically, this can be a finished look, so this is a perfect sort of daytime look. So, you know, feel free to stop here basically is what I'm saying. But for those that do want to sort of go to that nighttime look, or, you know, to be a little bit more hardcore, we're now going to go and we're going to do the bottom lash line. So what I start by doing is you're going to take your pencil brush. I'm telling you, this brush comes in very handy. And what you're going to do, the whole purpose is you want to try and sort of keep that dark and then kind of lighten here and then go completely light here. Like if you have all dark all under here, it's just going to look silly. So yeah, always try and kind of keep it dark in the corner and keep it sort of light on this side. So what we're going to do is we're going to dip the pencil brush back into the black eyeliner, the black eyeshadow. Again, just do it really, really lightly and don't forget to tap off the excess. And it's going to grab your eye and you're just going to draw underneath your waterline. So your waterline is this, God, I hate that word, is this white thing right under here. So you're not going to draw the eyeshadow in there, you're going to do it just underneath. And you're just going to meet it up with your eyeliner. Then you're going to take the same brush and you're going to put it into the white. And you're going to start on this side. And then you're going to just marry it in the middle and just blend it together, because you're basically going to make the grey in the middle when you blend the two colours together. Ta-da! Next thing is you need a black kohl pencil like this, and now you're going to draw it into your waterline. I'm just going to give it a more dramatic look. And there you have it. Okie dokie, so if you followed what I just did, then you should get a look that looks something like this. And then afterwards, obviously, you can add your foundation and your bronzer and your highlights and whatever you need to use, and your lipstick color. I do tend to do my foundation after my eyeshadow, only because of the fact that I do always make a bit of a mess, and I, you know, do get the fallout, as you saw. But you know, a lot of people do put their foundation on first. It's completely up to you. You do whatever floats your boat, really. The other thing I need to say is, don't worry if you didn't get it right the first time round. Believe me, like, doing this is really, it's all about the practice. So, you know, just keep practicing, hang in there, don't give up. Like, that's pretty much how I got started, was just watching YouTube tutorial after YouTube tutorial and just practicing, and like, I'm still nowhere near perfect, but you know, like, I'm happy with how it's sort of worked out. So yeah, just keep at it. The next tutorial that I'm going to do is going to be another beginner's one, and in the next tutorial I'm actually going to show you how to do a simple smoky eye look. So I'll use, you know, a nice brown smoky eye. So if you do want to stick around for that, yeah, come back soon, and I will see you then. Thanks very much for watching, and if you like this video, please give a thumbs up, or feel free to comment, or let me know if there's anything you'd like to see, and I will see you in my next video. Bye bye.